Hail and Well Met proudly presents The Shorts Podcast, a collection of short stories.
Apollo Fever.
The Ride Home.
Quantum.
Costume File number 73.
Dolly.
I Slipped Away.
Written by different authors.
I'm Alan West.
I'm Seth Merlo.
Sadie Parsley.
Elijah Gabriel.
I'm Alex C. Talander.
And I am Taryn Merlo, across a range of genres from around the world. Coming this Halloween in a fully immersive soundscaped experience. Episode 1, The Guilt Will Haunt You, by Reddit user A Lot Like Violence. And now, here's a taste of what's to come. I stood in disbelief of what had just happened. 1 minute we're talking, and the next, I'm standing over her with blood on my hands. Not figuratively, but literally. Warm blood, steadily dripping onto the floor between the webs of my fingers, not even spilled long enough to have yet turned cold. My hands are shaking, and my entire body is numb. My brain feels as if it's slowed down to the point that processing anything beyond the extreme shock I find myself in would be impossible. I can't even find the strength to speak, as the gasping words I search for struggle to climb out of the bowels of my throat. I've been made both motionless and speechless by the horrifying sight that lay in front of me, the lifeless body of my girlfriend, Grace, with which I'd exclusively shared the last 7 years of my life, and with whom she'd reluctantly share with me her last. But if I'm being honest, I should confess, we weren't talking, we were arguing, and I also hadn't exclusively given her 7 years of my commitment. At best, she only had 4 months of the spotlight of my attention, before I strayed off the path into the beds of multiple other women, which of course was the topic of our heated argument, brought on by the foolish loose end I'd left unknotted in a form of a text message sent to the other woman in my life, which I'd absent-mindedly forgotten to delete. It took Grace only a quick glance at my lit-up phone screen to arouse her suspicion, and from that point on we were locked in a debate of accusations, excuses, and whenever possible, attempts to turn the tables around on her. Though each attempt to divert the blame only managed to intensify the swelling of our emotional boiling points, leaving the tables thoroughly unturned and pointed towards me. I've shamelessly chosen to blur out the memory of the events that followed, and began the difficult task of rewiring the brain into believing that everything had unfolded differently than it actually had. The brain can be a powerful weapon if you allow it free rein of creative thinking. Not long after, thoughts slowly started to trickle into my spinning head, and I was left with a choice to make. But as soon as deep thought had manifested, I had already decided on what I was going to do. I was going to pretend that the whole thing had never happened. I was going to hide the body, the evidence, and then never tell a soul about it. It was going to be my secret, and I would never let anything expose my secret. Subscribe today so you don't miss the whole story and to receive those that will follow. If you have a story you would like considered for the Shorts Podcast, contact the team at Hail and Well Met on Reddit r/Hail and Well Met, Twitter @HailPodcast, or email info@hailandwellmetpodcast.com. And thank you for listening.